Hey guys, it's Brian again. Today we're going to be looking at the 695 Ultimate MX2 or Ultra MX2. It's also going to hold true for the 795, 1095, 1595, and several other of the Graco units. We have an issue where the machine doesn't want to turn on. This process is going to be directed towards those models, but this is going to be a very similar problem with most all of the Gracos and Titans when it comes to you getting an error code of 2 or 3 and the machine doesn't want to turn on. This is a working shop, so there's going to be times I have to stop to help my customers or answer a phone call, but other than that I try to get my videos to go straight through. These are no substitute for a good certified shop to carry your equipment to for regular maintenance and repairs. These are just things to help you get out of a jam. We want to be safe. We want to make sure there's no electrical issues, pressure issues to cause yourself to get hurt, and always try to wear eye protection at the bare minimum. So customer states they turn it on and nothing happens. This is the Blue Link style, so you can actually hook this to your phone through the Bluetooth if you wanted to, but it also has an indicator here that'll help us out. So we got the pressure turned down. Machine's plugged in, we turn it on, immediately goes from the blue to the red. You got 2 flashing lights, and then it repeats 2. It could possibly be 3 as well. So that tells me that the machine, even when you turn the pressure up, you're not going to get anything. It's not going to happen today. We've been experiencing a lot of cold weather recently, so if the transducer, which is in the body of the filter here, if it freezes, it can get damaged and it will give a false reading to the machine. Usually it won't turn on, which is what you have here. There are occasions where it gives the indication to the computer that the machine is not under pressure, and it will turn on and it'll run, but it won't stop running. It will exceed 5, 6, 7,000 psi until something blows. Typically the prime valve will blow open. And that, again, is going to be an indicator that your transducer is bad. Could be a computer issue, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a transducer. So we're going to look at how to replace that today. We're going to start by unplugging this machine because I don't like to get electrocuted at all. You got 4 screws in here. We're going to go through this quick because it's fairly easy. We're going to take those out. It's a torque style screw. I'm going to take these 4 out. I do have a Facebook page now that if you have questions, instead of going to YouTube to give me the questions, I would prefer you to go to my my Facebook, because I can get specific with you without passing out too much personal information on your behalf or my behalf. That way you can get the information and the help you need without the aggravation of the YouTube chat. It's aggravating. So we're going to turn the light on here, and this black wire right here, let me get this out of the way so we can still use the light. That's your transducer wire, and it plugs in right there. And it's just like the old style telephone cord. You lift up on the little tab and pull, and it comes out just like that. There's in that black block right there. Be careful so you don't damage that block. So now the transducer itself is actually unplugged from the computer. Now this one is in the filter body like you see here. Some of them detach differently. On this particular style here, you've got a bolt here, here, and here. Now yours may show a black cup that sits right here, covers it up. So you'll have to remove that black cup. You do that by unscrewing, turn the light back on, put a wrench right here and loosen up your prime hose. Take it off and the black cup itself will just drop off. But in this case it's already gone for whatever reason. We're going to take those out. We're going to remove the hose fitting right here. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to take these off. Now be careful once you take these off, the filter housing is no longer supported, so it can just fall off of there. And in the process, if you haven't disconnected your transducer, it can yank it out of that port, and then you've got an issue where you damage the board. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. If you're careful, careful is a key word here. If you're careful, when you take this hose, you don't have to necessarily take this hose off over here. You can actually leave it on because you got two free hands, so you can support this at the same time. But we're going to disconnect it for our benefit here. I can't use both hands at all times with what I'm doing here. So I've got this hose disconnected. This is the hose that comes off the pump itself. It comes off here, swirls around, and plugs into the back side of the filter body. And that was a 7/8 inch wrench. We're going to use a 3/8 inch socket. We're going to remove these. 1, 2, 3. Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out. We're going to easily pull this out. Feed it back through the hole there. There, that's your transducer right there. We're going to save this O-ring. This is a bushing to prevent it from rubbing on the electronic box there, so that it doesn't damage the wiring on the inside of the transducer here. I'm going to lay this down. Go get a wrench. A 3/4 inch wrench. And all you're going to do, put your wrench on like that, and then we're just going to loosen it up and take it off. So I'm going to go over here out of the way. I can't do it with the camera right there. Too much stuff in the way. So I've got it loosened up. Turn the camera a little bit here. We're going to unscrew this. And when you take this off, make sure there wasn't any pressure on it, because if not, you're going to find out real quick that it's pressure. So that's where the transducer goes. The transducer is what measures the pressure that your machine has. Now, if you can slide this back on these, been used for a while, they're hard to do. So you slide that back, you should see a white O-ring down in there and a white O-ring right here. One O-ring's below this metal collar, one ring's on top. That ring's not going to go anywhere. This one sometimes will stick inside of that body. So you want to, on the inside, you want to pull it out. So we've got our part number here, 243222 is the Graco part number. Do not use an aftermarket from some other company on this particular item. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to screw this in, and the collar will spin independently of the, the collar will spin independently of the actual transducer itself. So you'll tighten that up best you can with your fingers, and then you're going to tighten it up the rest of the way with the wrench. Like I was saying, don't use aftermarket parts from some Amazon dealer. Make sure it is genuine Graco. It'll say Graco on the box. If it doesn't say Graco, don't use it, because this item right here can, if it fails or if it's not calibrated properly, it can hurt you, could even kill you. Because again, your machine is going to build pressure based on what this is reporting back to the computer. And if it's not reporting accurate information, you can overpressurize the system and hurt yourself, damage your equipment, or actually inject yourself. So this transducer wire is back on. Now we're going to take our bushing. Oops. Slide it back up there. Don't plug this in. We'll feed it back through the hole, but don't plug it in just yet, because if you drop it by accident, you don't want to damage the board. You damage the transducer, don't damage the board. The board is a whole lot more expensive. Well, like I said, I've got a Facebook page set up under my name, and you'll see the sunset. It's just like on my YouTube page. and you can actually get more detailed information, faster service back and forth on questions. And we're going to tighten this up a little bit. I don't want to tighten it all the way up because I need to be able to move it a little bit to finagle this hose back onto the fitting. If it's too tight, it doesn't want to flex enough to get those threads lined back up, and it can be just kind of a pain. So we're just going to tighten this back up, good and finger tight. Shimmy it a little bit, make sure everything's seating good, tighten it up. That's tight. Go back with our 7/8 inch wrench. I'm going to tighten the hose all the way up. If you've got any requests on any machines to be repaired or problems, give me a request in any of the comments, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on YouTube. Alright, now we're going to take the new transducer. We're going to plug it back into the hole. It clicked in. A little tug to make sure, and we're good. We know it's in there. Always make sure that your parts have that big G, and it says Graco. There's a lot of aftermarket parts out there that are in blue boxes, but they are not Graco parts. Electronic parts, I really stress using those from Graco. I'm going to set this back up, and I'm going to set one screw in it just to hold it in place to make sure everything's good. Okay, so now we got the screw back in, we got the transducer in place, everything is tightened back up. I don't have a hose on it yet, pressure hose, because what we're going to do is make sure everything turns on first. Pressure's down, switch is off. We're going to plug it in. Alright, on this model you'll hear some clicking before you even turn it on, and that's where the computer is charging up the capacitors, checking all the switches and everything. Now we're going to turn it on, pressure's down low. We should not have a red light, hopefully. If we do, we got another problem. Turn it on, light goes blue, that's good. Turn it up, motor is stroking. Now we're going to put a hose on it to make sure that our pressures are reading what they should be reading. Give me just a second here. Tighten this up. We're going to open the prime valve. We're going to turn it on. Got bubbles. Alright, so we built pressure and it stopped, which means we don't have a pressure leak anywhere. I'm going to show you the gauge. This is my gauge. I don't trust the computers. If something's off in here, you won't know it because the computer's telling you different. So we're sitting here at just above 15. So we're going to kick it all the way up. So we're sitting at 3,300 psi. It'll probably stroke again. We got air inside of the line, so the air compresses and changes the calibration of what's going on inside. So everything's good. The pressure is good. We're going to turn it off, turn the pressure back down, and easily open up this prime valve here. Dump that pressure off. We're going to put the rest of these bolts back in, these screws back in. And like I said, any questions, comments, requests, you just want to tell me how bad I am, find me on Facebook. I'll have it in the video here where you can find me, and then you can do what you want. Tell me what you want. Ask what you want. I'll do what I can to help you. I don't charge, but I don't make any promises because trying to diagnose and repair equipment over a chat can be a little bit difficult. You guys be safe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.